Invitational. Ret against ThorZain. Predictions?
It's hard to call, man, but I really do think Ret is the better player in this matchup.
2-1 or 2-0?
Definitely going to be 2-1.
Yeah, I want to say 2-1 as well. Perhaps I'll go for the upset then. It's always fun to go for the underdog. So perhaps 2-1 ThorZain.
It's so hard to call ThorZain an underdog, though, because he's so good.
That's ridiculous. I must say, I'm not that familiar with his TVZ. I mean, I'm a Protoss player myself, so I watch mostly Protoss players. Of course, I do watch ThorZain now and then.
He's famous for his TVP, though. I mean, his TVP is what's put him on the map. Of course, he played a lot of TVP coming through TSL. His TVZ is good. It's good. It's good. We're going to see how good it is here in just a few minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Game number 1 underway. Okay, guys, we are back for game number 1 between ThorZain and Ret. We've got Ret spawning as the blue Zerg player over here on the 3 o'clock position. This is cross map, so we're almost certainly going to see a big macro game. And his opponent, ThorZain, spawning as the red Terran over at 9 o'clock. And I'm really interested to see what ThorZain brings to this. There's so many different styles that he's shown in his TVZ. I'm eager to see what he falls back on here.
It's lovely to see, of course, the Netherlands with the Swedish matchup. That always gives a little extra tinge for me. I love that. ThorZain making sure that this is the MLG version, because it doesn't have supply depots, but it is the MLG version. Don't you worry, ThorZain. I can guarantee you that. I took care of that. I know my maps, man. So yeah, we see Ret. How do you think Ret is going to open? Spawning pool into hatch and then extractor?
Oh, almost certainly he's going to go hatch first. And Ret likes he plays a very... For the first 5 minutes, his games are almost all identical, regardless of the matchup. Okay. He'll go 15 hatch, 15 pool, 17 gas, get his ling speed, come off of gas at that point, and then just macro really, really, really hard. The running joke right now in the game of drones, you either win or die, and Ret is he's a testament to that whole statement.
Well, here we do see that drone leaving, so you're 100% right about that. 15 hatch is what it is going to be for the Dutch Zerg player. ThorZain going for that standout wall of here so far. Getting his refinery done as well. If we're thinking a bit look about ThorZain, what can we do? Can we expect something similar like we've seen Strelok open yesterday? No, it was ThorZain actually with the Marines, and I do actually think that ThorZain is more of a player who goes into factory and then 6 Hellions, like a little bit more casual, not blue flames straight away.
I agree, but we do have a tech lab going down, so this could be a Reaper expand. I really like Reaper expand. For the longest time, I said it was the best way that you can open up in TVZ, just because you get the scouting, you get a little bit of map control, and you always have the chance to knock off a couple drones there. Recently, we've been seeing Hellions coming back in a big way, especially with the this new sort of tendency to pick up that early blue flame upgrade. So we'll kind of see how that unfolds. But I do like this this Reaper choice. And definitely, if he manages to get a bunker down, this Reaper choice is going to become excellent.
Of course, often the bunker is more of a scare than like a real serious threat. I'm sure if it goes up, then it's really nice. But most of the time, the Terrans are well aware of the fact that most likely one SCV won't be able to get that bunker up in time. And it doesn't seem like ThorZain is actually going for that. The Reaper, of course, awesome for scouting purposes, but it would be even more awesome if you can actually grab a drone kill or 2. But that's not going to be easy against Ret.
Well, the thing I like about that Reaper is it's always going to... it's always going to pay for itself. If it only scouts, it's still doing its job, because it's really difficult to scout against Zerg once they have lings out, once they got a couple queens out. You can't just send an SCV up into the base. And see, we do see the command center going down there for ThorZain and the factory going up on the tech lab. Curious to see if that's for blue flame or for siege tanks. And here comes that Reaper scout.
Actually, 2 drones almost run straight into the Reaper. 1 drone does fall down. The second drone taking a lot of damage, but Ret does save it. Oh, this drone actually went to the wrong middle patch. 2 drones already, perhaps even 3 anytime soon. The Reaper is doing an excellent job over here.
And yeah, man, this is exactly what you want to... This is like a best-case scenario if you're ThorZain. Reaper pops out, gets 3 drone kills. That's actually huge this early on in the game. He's going to jump down into the... Oh, no, he's not. He's going to come back. He's going to get a 4th drone. Wow, so that's like the best Reaper in the world, superhero. So ThorZain absolutely getting his money's worth there. 4 drone kills this early on in the game is going to put Terran well ahead.
Take a look at the income tab right now. We have 22 SCVs against 20 drones. That's of course slightly unusual. Infernal pre-ignited is getting researched already, so we are actually going to see blue flame. So it seems like even ThorZain went on the blue flame wave, but yeah, can't blame him.
4 drone kills is such a big deal. It's almost a magic number, because it sucks up an entire injection cycle. That means Ret's going to need 1 more round of injects to get to the drone number that he wants to really move into his mid game. So this is going to make like early mid game pushes with pre-igniter Hellions and Marines and things like that. It's going to make it really, really good. If I was ThorZain, I would hopefully recognize how much damage that has been done and then commit to some sort of fairly early aggression.
Really love as well how he's just staying outside of range of that queen. That's excellent play right there by ThorZain. The command center already morphed into an orbital command, so we are going to see that second orbital most likely floating away anytime soon. He should be careful that he doesn't drop too many Mews on his main base. If I were ThorZain, I would have waited a little bit. Perhaps I don't know what he could possibly be afraid for. Perhaps that Red would somehow have a bunch of Zerglings somewhere on the map, but that would be very unlikely after the amount of drones that this magical Reaper killed. So if I were him, I would always save my energy, and I would prefer to drop the Mews on my natural expand. So, ooh, the Reaper is actually taking a lot of damage, because you don't want to mine out your main too early as a Terran player.
Yes, I do agree with you. And, you know, Blue Flame is finishing up here. Ret doesn't really have a good answer to Blue Flame Hellions. He's only got the single Spine Crawler and his natural, and there are 3 Blue Flame Hellions out. These could do a ton of damage if Ret doesn't control this perfectly.
48 supply right now for Red. Stim is well on the way as well. We do see 1 Spine Crawler is close to complete. Actually 2 Spine Crawlers, so that is decent. But nevertheless, it's still far from any kind of a wall off though. He does have the queen position on the ramp. Good job right there by Red. I love how ThorZain is taking control of the Cell Naga Watchtowers before he's really starting to do anything.
Oh yes, he's controlling this map. He's denying vision. He's making it very hard for Ret to understand exactly what's coming. Ret trying to drone here, which is extremely bold given the fact that he's facing a lot of the potential for a lot of aggression.
Yeah, we saw that against Stars, and then he managed to actually fight it off perfectly with just 3 queens. There was a medevac on the field as well. I think we did see the starport going up, but I'm not sure if he actually built a medevac. Yeah, here we already have the medevac on the other side of the map, and ThorZain is actually going to be able to drop these Hellions, but Red is right there with a couple of links.
Oh man, nice control there by ThorZain with the picking up and the dropping of the Hellions there. There's queens though. Ret doing such a good job. Yeah, he's shown a real proficiency for defending this kind of drop play with the good use of the queens.
I've seen Zergs with double the amount of Zerglings, but doing this a lot worse than Ret just handled this situation. That was just perfect. Perfect positioning by the Zergling, even though the Hellions got a couple of shots off. Not the type of shots you want. All the time when ThorZain just hit 2 or 3 Zerglings at best. Excellent play by Ret.
Yeah, now we are closing in on a really dangerous time in the game here. About 9 minutes is when we do expect Terran to make that first push. Ret's Spire is just finishing up. I don't know how many Marines ThorZain has out on the map just yet.
Take a look at the unit count.
Only 4 Marines. So these mutas out of Ret are actually going to be really, really nice because without more significant Marine numbers and without stim and combat shields, mutas can really do a number on the army that we've got out of ThorZain.
The engineering bay is almost completed though, so we might see a couple of missile turrets going up anytime soon. I love how he's bringing SCVs, but this actually takes a while. This takes a lot longer than I expected. I thought SCVs required a little bit faster than that.
Yes, indeed. They're not quite as proficient healers as the medevac.
No, so it seems, but well, fortunately for him, almost all the Hellions seem healthy again. Let's see if the second drop is going to be a little bit more successful. Red does have Overlord spread out. He does have a couple of mutas. We do see a bunch of Zerglings right now. And this is, of course, typical Red style, always having a bunch of Zerglings, but this is very well done by ThorZain. He seems to be well prepared. He knows he's playing against Red.
Yeah, the great thing for Red now is that these mutas are going to give him all this map control. Oh, and he does spot that medevac, and that is almost certainly going to fall. These Hellions are going to be in full retreat going back home, so the medevac will get picked off. The Hellions will survive. But that's a small victory for Ret because now he's going to be sort of safe from the harassment, and he's going to be free to drone up so much. He's going to spend 100% of his gas on mutas. All the excess minerals will go to drones, and we're going to just watch these drone numbers skyrocket here shortly.
Meanwhile, these mutas actually poking a little bit at the front, might be able to snipe off one siege tank. Good job right there by Ret. That's something that I wouldn't really have expected, certainly not with the bunker there, but Ret's such an awesome player, always realize when there is something to grab.
Yeah, siege tank for a muta, not a bad trade. Got to be careful though. The real important thing when playing mutas is